a threshold upon which I'm not going to accept anymore.
I think Proctor's ready to roll, otherwise he might have. And you don't want to bring Rivera in now. I mean, in no way.
No, I think Proctor was warming up with Farnsworth out there.
Maybe you're right. Yeah. Wouldn't that Vallone? Well, it was. Farnsworth's going to get out of it eventually. As Varitek pops to Jeter. Boston gone. They do pick up a pair. It's 7-3 to the bottom of the 8th.
NCAA Men's Lacrosse Championship semifinals begin Saturday at noon on ESPN2.
What do you want in a home? Everybody has a different idea. Yet everybody should expect the same things in a mortgage. No fees, no worries, guaranteed. Introducing No Fee Mortgage Plus. It's the opportunity to get the mortgage you always wanted for the home you've always wanted. No Fee Mortgage Plus, only from Bank of America, Bank of Opportunity.
Three V-Dubs for under 17,000.
Extra Winter Fresh presents remarkably long-lasting moments. For flavor that keeps going and going, try the Cool Mint flavor of Extra Winter Fresh gum.
Hello. A witness to a murder.
I saw you kill them, and I have never felt such a rush.
Has become a partner in crime.
I have other photos, and if anything happens to me...
We're both aware of the rules, Mr. Smith.
Now...
See the look on her face?
He must stay one step ahead of a killer.
Mr. Brooks?
If he wants to survive.
You really want me to kill you?
Mr. Brooks, rated R. In theaters everywhere, June 1st.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Back in New York, this ESPN telecast available on ESPN and in glowing high definition on ESPN HD, presented by Olivia. 7-3 now. The Yankees lead the Red Sox as they come up in the bottom of the 8th inning. Joel Pinheiro. Once upon a time, pretty promising with Seattle. Was really trying to find himself. He really kind of bottomed out late up there, and with Boston thus far this year, he's remained bottom with an opponent's average of 306. But certainly has good stuff. I mean, he looked good for a year or two, didn't he?
Oh, he put up some numbers early in his career starting, and the thought was maybe this guy would lock in, but there was thought that he was going to be the closer for the Boston Red Sox and never really emerged in spring training as the go-to guy. Command has been a major issue. A kid with a pretty good arm, but who doesn't throw enough strikes.
Keeps the ball up. Doesn't get it down, doesn't drive it down. They talked about lowering his arm slot in spring training, maybe getting him a new slot.
Giambi on the shift, tries to leg it out. Can't. He's the only Yankee without a hit tonight. So Jason is 0 for 4. Down to Bonnie Bernstein. Josh Beckett had a throwing session today. Is hopeful that he can come off the DL. What did the Red Sox determine, Bonnie?
Yeah, well, barring any unforeseen setbacks, Beckett will be back in the rotation on Tuesday against the Indians. Missed 2 games because of torn skin on his middle finger, something that's plagued him throughout his career. But I talked to him after the side session. He told me he threw about 130 pitches between his regular bullpen warm-up and the 5 pitches 5 innings rather he simulated. He was kind of taking a Band-Aid on and off. If you saw that in the video, nothing to be alarmed about there. He told me that's something, he always wears that Band-Aid when he's pitching the side sessions, and that's more of a preventive measure than anything. But he told me the skin on that middle finger is completely healed, and he's ready to go.
All right, Bonnie, I know Mike Timlin also threw, and of course they're hopeful there. On the other side, there was some question about, Carl Pavano. They were going to determine perhaps if he indeed is going to have Tommy John surgery. We'll wait till after the pitch and See if the Yankees have made that determination inside the Cano. What do you know on that, Bon?
Yeah, well, Brian Cashman came down and addressed the media today. It looks 99% sure that Pavano's going to have Tommy John surgery on his throwing elbow. Guy who's just been plagued with injuries since he's come to the Yankees in 2001. When he got hurt in his second start against Minnesota, it was just, he thought it was forearm pain. Broken bat here. I know. Just thought they didn't think it was anything major, and he hasn't pitched since. It turns out that he has ligament damage. He's talked to 4 doctors. They all say the same thing. The best thing to do is to have that ligament replacement surgery. Best case scenario, they would see him coming back in the back end of 2009. He's only on a 4-year deal, so it's quite possible that Carl Pavano is done in his limited time as a Yankee.
Well, every news you get with Pavano gets worse all the time. Today in the reading the New York Post, thank you, Bonnie, which is always humorous, I might add. I mean, it's brutal. They call him the Yankee Idol. I mean, American Idol, IDLE. It just hasn't worked.
I would say that of all of the calculations that Brian Cashman made about putting his team together, the area he made the biggest mistake was anticipating Pavano could contribute this year. He's had a history of injuries. I think coming in, they had to assume that anything they got from him would have been gravy. That would have been the icing on the, I mean, a lot like the Cubs did with Pryor and Wood. I think to think that Pavano was going to be a predictable starter was a mistake.
For a strike to Mankiewicz, 1-2. Looks like we're going to see Mariano in the 9th. It wouldn't be an official save situation, but it would certainly be an outing. Mankiewicz hit his 4th home run of the year back in the 4th inning. Yankees 3 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 7th. You know what? And that's why Veritek let it. No, it hit it. It's a foul. He was not sure. Hey, he could run to first, could try to make the turn. These guys that have been back there for 10, 12 years, Posada and Veritek, same boat.
He's one of the most prepared and intelligent catchers in the game. And with Curt Schilling on the mound tonight starting the game, they had one of the most intelligent batteries in the game as far as preparation. Jorge Posada on the other side's done an outstanding job throughout the year.
Mankiewicz has struggled to be welcome here by the Yankees, and their fans. But tonight, Doug Mankiewicz, homer, single, now double. Batman Mankiewicz. He's out of the bat cave.
Well, Dougie Fresh has not swung the bat very well all year, but he is starting to get hot. He has shown spurts. And tonight he has gotten the ball up. He's one of the rare left-handed hitters that hits the high ball very well. And he's gotten some high pitches tonight to hit. Drove one for a home run right here. The ball slightly above the waist. You see the flat plane on the swing. Does a good job not dropping his hands so that he can still use his top hand and drive through that ball. The pitch that he struggles with is the off-speed pitch and the pitch low and away. But anything in the up part of the zone for Doug Mankiewicz is something he can handle.
So now Mankiewicz at second, 2 out. Johnny Damon up. Johnny 2 for 4. So Damon 2 for 4 tonight. Jeter 3 for 4. Matsui 2 for 4. A-Rod 1 for 4. Posada 1 for 4. Bray 1 for 4. Giambi 0 for 4. Cano 2 for 4. Mankiewicz 3 for 4. Well, that would be a 3rd hit for Damon. And Mankiewicz will score. They go for a 2-point conversion. They lead at 8-3. So the Yankees tack on a little bit more insurance. We head up the pike to Scott Reese. Scotty?
All right, Boomer, our Citgo keeping you in the game takes us to Detroit. What's turned out to be a good game between the Tigers and Angels. Curtis Granderson, 8th home run of the year. The 4th Tiger long ball of the day, but the Halos have crept back in it. 2 out in the 9th. They're down 8-7. Todd Jones trying to shut it down. Boom.
Those are 2 good teams. Angels and Tigers. They're going to be front and center all year.
They really are. You figure if it gets into a slugfest that Detroit might have the edge. Is the Angels really only Vladimir Guerrero with the real power threat there, but they can manufacture runs as well as anybody.
And the Tigers last year got off to a big start with their pitching staff, but now the bats are really doing it this year.
We gave it to you the long way. 1, 2, and 3, 8 for 13 tonight, with 6 runs batted in.
I'll tell you, that last run was a big run to make it a 5-run lead. It gets you away from a grand slam, tying up the game. Joe Torre's got to be happy just tacking on those extra runs, keeping the momentum going. Remember, the crowd was booing Kyle Farnsworth walking off the mound. Now they're cheering again. The players getting that positive reinforcement is very important.
Hey, with all the guys that are scuffling, the Yanks, getting Damon going at the top of the lineup. I know it's only one game, but Lowell will make the force to Pedroia. And Damon retired. Mariano Rivera is going to come in to try to nail down an 8-3 lead.
Why are most luxury car makers doing the same thing? Dropping their maintenance program so you foot the bill. BMW is different. As an independent company, we can stand behind BMW Ultimate Service. You pay nothing for brake pads, rotors, and more for 4 years or 50,000 miles. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Lease a BMW 328i for $339 a month, now until May 31st.
He's from the biggest names in the timeshare industry.
No one sells more timeshares.
Call now. Find out how to turn your timeshare into cash and get a $1,000 shopping spree. And we'll also send you this free information kit, including 10 secrets to buying and selling timeshares. You owe it to yourself to work with the best. Timeshares Only, the most trusted name in timeshares.
Call 800-346-4407. Offer is only good while supplies last, so don't delay. Call 800-346-4407.
The Indianapolis 500. Coverage begins Sunday, noon Eastern on ABC and ABC HD.
Sunday, division foes rumble in the tough AL Central as power slugger Travis Hafner and the Indians travel to the Motor City to take on Sheffield and the Tigers. ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. Indians-Tigers, 8 Eastern. Today.
Oh, that really hurts!
It's too big.
I'm so hot.
Too obscene. Too naughty, even for theaters.
Yay!
Epic movie, unrated, on DVD today.
Men have become oblivious to the fact that gels are made with 40% water. Now with Degree Men Ultra Clear's advanced protection, there is no wet application. Degree, it won't let you down.
Motown, Mariano Rivera. It has been Motown. What a great career he has had. And of course, not a safe situation, but the story is he's trying to finish what Andy Pettit began. Ruby Tuesday is presenting baseball tonight. Coming up next, Carl Ravitch and John Kruk and Eric Young and Buster Olney. So full house backfield for that show. We did this game in an I formation, not the largest booth that we've ever seen. But no. Always at Yankee Stadium, it's good to be in a booth.
Exactly.
And so Oral Hershiser, Steve Phillips, Bonnie Bernstein, and yours truly, Chris Berman. I'm glad you could join us here in New York. Willie Mo Pena, Dustin Pedroia, Julio Lugo, 8-9-1. So Boston will go from here with 3 at Texas. They'll play 3 against Cleveland. That'll be interesting at Fenway. And then 3 against the Yankees. And when they finish again with the Yankees, the 2 teams won't see each other until August the 28th. The Yankees, of course, have a day off. Then they play the Angels. Then they go to Toronto, in which we think Roger Clemens will make a start at the Rogers Center. And a pool cue by Willie Mo Pena. Rattle around in the corner. So you got to give the Red Sox credit. They're not 31-14 by accident. They open up with a double. So let's go down to Bonnie Bernstein. We suspect Roger Clemens will start. What's the news off his start tonight, Bonnie?
No news. I got no news for you. I just talked to Cashman. He had a conversation with Roger Clemens. Clemens told him he felt much better than he did in his first start back down in the minors. His legs felt stronger, got his legs under him, got a nice little workout over covering first base, but he's going to throw a side session on Friday. Cashman will talk to Gene Michaels, a scout, and also he'll be talking to Billy Connors, a pitching coach who's been working with Roger throughout his comeback process here, if you will. And I get the feeling they will make a call on Friday, maybe before then.
So basically TBA.
Yeah, well,
right?
I said, what's your preference, Brian? He said, my preference is to take Roger Clemens whenever he's ready. Very politically correct.
Well, I don't blame him.
I don't blame him either.
Well, you mentioned a lot of people there. Billy Connors, Stick Michaels down there watching. The minor league manager, I'm sure there'll be one opinion that counts. Roger Clemens. Because Roger does not want to come up here before he's ready to embarrass himself, to put a damper on the return for the team and for himself. He wants to be absolutely ready to come here and to at least make a strong showing and an impact.
If it lines up the way it is, as we mentioned, well, I don't know if he'll go Sunday night in Boston, but it's possible his first two starts would be on the road at division rivals, at teams he pitched for.
Well, he's lined up the same day as Andy Pettitte. That next day to pitch would be Monday. In my mind, you'd give Roger Clemens the extra day's rest and probably pitch him Tuesday. I mean, that's me if I'm part of that decision making. And we're going to say he's going to start in that next slot. I let Pettitte pitch Monday because he's healthy, stretched out, and I give Roger that extra day, start him on Tuesday in Toronto if they're going to bring him back there, which would in fact, I guess, bring him back. And that would take him to the following Monday, I guess, if it's Tuesday. I'd take him to Sunday night baseball.
Good. Pitch against two teams which he worked for, as we point out. Pedroia punched out by Rivera, 1 out in the ninth. Meanwhile, his buddy Andy Pettitte, one of the reasons that Roger was back here, had lost an 0-2 earlier this year against Boston, but on this night, fellas, he looked very on top of it all.
Well, real estate is location, 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 and that's what Andy Pettitte did tonight. He had a very good cutter, fielded his position right here on this doubling off first and second, no out. Boston wanting to crawl back in the game, but right there, got the line drive, fielded his position, got the double play, but Andy Pettitte did a good job on both sides of the plate, changing speeds, and a great job against Manny Ramirez and David Ortiz in the middle of their lineup.
Well, if the score remains and there's just 2 outs to go, the Yankees would they would enter this series 10.5 behind. They would leave it 9.5 behind. The big news for Boston, they weren't swept. I mean, they would be 31-15. They will have taken 6 of the first 9 against the Yankees. They can't expect to win every series against them. And they didn't get a great outing from Schilling tonight. But it's funny, you try to predict these things. Tavares is the one that came in pitching the best of the Boston pitchers in this series. And Wakefield was an ERA leader in the league. And Schilling, of course, speaks for itself. 211 wins.
Yeah, Wakefield gets roughed up a little bit. Julian Tavares does a great job coming out of the bullpen, been in the rotation for a little bit. Kurt Schilling gets roughed up, has had 3 borderline outings for him, but you got Beckett coming back at 7-0, Matsuzaka at 6-2. So their pitching is very sound, and they were 12-2-2 coming into these series as far as winning series. So to drop a series to the Yankees on the road for only your 3rd losing series is not some huge problem.
We've had a wonderful 2 months. There's no other way to look at it than that. And if you're also looking big picture Boston, as Lugo is gone, crisp up the last hope. They really haven't gotten some parts going. Drew is still okay. Crisp, not really. Lugo, it's short. He can hit better than that theoretically. I understand that other guys are off the charts, like Euclid and Lowell, etc. But Manny Ramirez, you pointed out at the beginning. So it's not as if everything is hit for Boston yet. Well, now we're going to get into it a little bit. They throw Lugo out of the game.
Well, C.B. Buckner behind the plate has gotten a lot of complaints on pitches tonight. The last two hitters struck out looking. Dustin Pedroia didn't like the inside fastball he had called, nor did Julio Lugo. Both thought the pitch was inside, and CB telling them to quiet down in the dugout.
I don't know if he got tossed. Well, I don't know. Is that a toss?
No, that's a
Just sit down. Just sit down. Get off the CB radio is what he's saying. Well, the Yankee fans have something to cheer about. They're a strike away from taking 2 or 3 from the Red Sox. Just inside the Coco Crisp, who homered off Farnsworth.
It's been a series of offense and starting pitching. No save in this series. All games decided by 3 runs or more, 4 runs or more.
All decided by big first innings. Oh, and of course it's going to be a disputed run to end it. But it was the Yankees that powdered the Red Sox 8-3 with 16 hits, dispatching of Curt Schilling. And Andy Pettitte has helped evoke the memories of old. Steve Phillips, Oral Hershiser, we maybe, for the Yankees, they get going a little. We'll see.
Well, Andy Pettitte did exactly what they needed. They needed a big game performance. He gave them that and finally got the kind of support he needed behind him.
And Hideki Matsui's home run got him started, and the offense finished the game off.
All right, guys, we enjoyed it immensely. Steve, Oral, I'll see you when I see you. Huh?
All right, Boomer.
If you allow me back, I'll see you any week now. Monty Bernstein, our thanks to you as always. Next on ESPN Baseball tonight, post-game extra coming up on ESPN News and more. And this game will be back. It's been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For all of us here in Wednesday Night Baseball, I'm Chris Berman. So long from the Bronx. 8-3 Yanks. Here's baseball tonight.
Just watched the Red Sox-Yankees game from Yankee Stadium. Another outstanding start for Andy Pettitte, and the Yankees take 2 of 3 in this series. And, of course, they continue that series real soon at Fenway Park. Peter Gammons is here, Eric Young, John Kruk. I'm Kyle Ravitch. Take you to the top of the hour when Sports Center joins us. And, of course, you Yankee fans that were at the game or watched it, you got a chance to see Roger Clemens in action as well on this show as he made a start for the Trenton Thunder. All right, let's go over the game. Andy Pettitte looking for a little support, and he's going to get it early. Schilling gives this shot up to Matsui. It's only his 4th, but the Yankees go up 3-0. Good sign.
Saw Jeter running on the play. That's a great hit and run.
Here's Jeter. There's Schilling. 2 on. Jeets. Past Mike Lowell. Lugo had it. Nothing doing. Cano's in. Jeter moves past Joe DiMaggio for 5th place in the Yankees all-time hit list. That is incredible.
Incredible.
Jorge just waits for that little tumbling dice to show up.
Tell you what, the way Jorge's hitting, he might pass a few guys to himself this summer.
A-Rod safe at home. Yankees go up by a score of 5-0. In the 4th, it's Kevin Youkilis becoming a real tough out. This time he hits it hard, but they had him played well. 4-6-3, double play. Andy Pettitte up 5-0 through 4. Doug Mankiewicz says, no, hold on. How about 6-0?
Wow.
He's got as many home runs as Matsui does.
Wow.
Now in the 5th, Lugo, jam shot, Pettitte. Perfect.
Willie Moe trying to get a good jump.
Dustin Pedroia against Pettitte to 3rd. A-Rod throws Pedroia out at 1st. Last night, of course, it was A-Rod's slide into Pedroia that had the Red Sox second baseman Little fired up. In the 9th, Pedroia punched out.
He worked for us. We point out Pedroia punched out.
Not going to endear yourself to the umpiring faithful.
No. The Sandman gets Lugo with that nasty pitch.
A couple of great cutters there.
See you later. Good Coco. Keep going. All the way to the bench. That was vintage 42 right there.
Wow, it's only 6th save opportunity the entire season, which is incredible.
Got it done there. The Yankees take care of the Red Sox. In fact, not a save opportunity with the 5-run advantage, but boy, did he look good in that game as Jeter continues to hit well. He has 3 hits. And Davis goes 3 for 4. I mean, that's a little offensive surprise for Dougie Fresh.
Well, it is, and the way he can save runs with his glove, and he's making A-Rod a better third baseman. I mean, he's been a very, very valuable player for this team.
All right, speaking of valuable, how great is this? In 13 seasons, DiMaggio had 2,214 hits. In the same number of seasons, Derek Jeter now passes him. You're talking about one of the top maybe 5, 6 players of all time, and Jeter has moved past him.
Look at the bottom, though. 13 seasons, 9 World Series titles.
Part of the dynasty, obviously a huge part of it. 5th in Yankee history. It's some incredible numbers. Good numbers for the Yankees tonight for sure. They came in trailing by 10.5. You look at this series, they take 2 of 3. They get a good outing from Pettit. Little controversy last night, little fire from A-Rod. 17 runs to the Red Sox 12. They hit almost 300, and the home runs you see were 4 and 3. All right, that's inside the series. So, Chucky, what do you take away from the series?
That the Yankees aren't done, and they did what they had to do. Would you have loved to have swept them? Yes, you would. But would you think, okay, you're 1-1 going into Game 3, and they have Curt Schilling pitching, who's been pretty good this year? That's what you take out of this. We've won 2 out of 3. We've cut the deficit to single digits, and that's what you're looking for. It's still early later on in May, but still early in the season. And you cut the deficit to single digits. Now you move forward, and you realize that your best pitcher, Chin-Meng Hua, set the table early in this series as far as getting the Yankees off to the winning start. He is their best pitcher.
Yep. So 9.5 now is the deficit. And again, perhaps feeling a little better about themselves because there was some energy. The crowd got into it. A-Rod was running around the bases. What do you recall from it? What's the sort of the high water mark in the series?
Well, I tell you, there's always controversy surrounding A-Rod and things that he do on the field. He's such a great player that when he does this particular slide last night, there's no reason to do it. I know he want to set the tone based on the slide that maybe Dustin had did earlier, but it was not the moment to make a hard slide. You know, Don Bell, my former manager, said, when you go in there, you go in there hard and you do it clean, but you don't go out of your way like that to try to make that play. And I just think right there, A-Rod, you're too good of a player, and I don't think he should have did that in that particular situation. I know he wants to make amends to doing something, helping his team and be the leader, but at that particular point, I didn't think that was the time to do it.
And, of course, there was a lot of people suggesting there's going to be some payback, and there was none of that in this game. Not a time to do that?
No, because the most important thing for Curt Schilling was to go win that game and not pay back. They can take care of that early June. They can take care of it in September. But I don't think that was necessary.
Right, so what do you take out of the series, Pete?
Andy Pettit. I think that Andy Pettit coming back to New York and pitching as well as he's had only 1 start all year, which was not a quality start. Everything else, he has been great for them. I mean, he lost last weekend against the Mets. He still pitched an outstanding game on Friday night, and he dominated the Red Sox in this game. I mean, Pettit has given them exactly what they needed. He's got in the bullpen in 2 different times. When they had all their starters hurt, Andy Pettit has been the one guy that's held them together. And if and when they get in that wild card race or whatever, he's going to be a big reason for it.
Right, EY talked about controversy. There seems to always be controversy surrounding this team, or at least conversation that doesn't involve baseball. And in Giambi's case, once again, he had his meeting with Major League Baseball based on his comments about that stuff that he allegedly claims to have used a while back, and they're investigating that. Also, the amphetamines charge, or at least report in one of the New York papers today that he had tested positive within the past year for that. That apparently didn't come up in this meeting. But again, Jason Giambi, at least according to one newspaper report, did test positive for amphetamines. The punishment, Peter, for amphetamines, at least the first one, is really nothing, and it's supposed to be kept a secret. What have you learned about this?
Well, I mean, in talking to different sources, and they've all claimed, no, this did not actually happen. Because my original feeling was, well, wait a minute, did this get leaked by the commissioner's office? Like Barry Bonds, and I saw there's no connection. This was not leaked by the commissioner's office. It didn't happen. But I mean, the New York Daily News is very credible. T.J. Quinn is a terrific reporter. There is something there, and Jason is digging himself out of a huge hole after making that comment. He's got the commissioner's office after him. He's got the New York Yankees ownership after him. He may have the federal government back after him in San Francisco. This is going to be a huge distraction for Jason, whether or not he tested positive or not.
All right. Any other comments on Giambi? No?
No.
The gag order's in effect, and it should have been before he opened up his mouth about this.
Yes, I don't know. I don't see why he came out with this. What was the reason behind it? And like Peter said, it's going to be a lot of people coming after him.
All right, meantime, Clemens returns tonight and maybe takes another step closer to rejoining the New York Yankees. He was just over the river in Trenton, New Jersey, and pitching for the Double-A Sea Dogs. He didn't pitch very well if you were looking for an outstanding start from him. This wasn't it. Walked Jed Lowry. This is the Red Sox Double-A affiliate. Walks Corey Kaler. He misses high and away. In the first inning, as we saw on ESPN2 as we covered it, he walked 3 batters. And the other guys that made outs hit him far and hit him hard. He threw 30 pitches in the first inning. 14 of them were for strikes. And like a car going up a real big hill, he did kind of get it going, but it took a long time.
Tell you what, in the second inning, he had a little bit more movement, sharp pitches. It was moving a little bit more that second inning.
Every hit he gave up was an extra base hit. There was a triple involved. There was a couple of doubles involved. This is Jed Lowry, who would later score in the inning. He got Andrew Pinckney here. But according to the gun that was there, he wasn't throwing much higher than 89, topped out at 91. But for the most part, high 80s, low 90s at best. At that point, after the fifth, they think perhaps Clemens is done pitching. But this is Rogers' world. Everyone else just got to be a part of it. He would come out and throw in the sixth.
You just told 8,000, I'll let you know.
They hit Otness with the pitch. The bases were loaded with Sea Dogs. And Iggy Suarez missed. Clemens walks the tying run. He'd leave after 5 1/3, 102 pitches, 5 Ks, 3 runs on 6 hits.
The decision will probably come after my bullpen on Friday, and you know, then we'll sit down and talk again. I think that'll be the next step, and then we'll make the decision from there.
Do you anticipate a start perhaps in Toronto?
If I feel pretty good right now. I don't feel winded. My body, I don't feel like I've taxed myself too much. And again, I got a lot of reps in, which is what I needed. So we'll know more on Friday.
All right, so Rogers seems at least comfortable with where he's at, if that's the call after the Friday bullpen session. 5 1/3, 3 runs, and the Ks and the walks. Interesting line, interesting conversation, and obviously the perspective of somebody watching the game might be very different than his obviously is.
Yeah, I mean, my perspective is he's not ready to face the Toronto Blue Jays just yet. And you know, you can say what you want about the gun, 87, 88, 91, whatever it is. You know, guns on some guns are higher than others. The hitters will let you know what the gun says. And the gun tells me that he can throw his fastball by guys, but you see him here flexing his forearm, flexing his hand. Watch him again here after the pitch, after he gets the strikeout. He's flexing that hand. To me, it just didn't seem like there was something right. It's like something was cramping, either his hand, his forearm, something was cramping, because after just about every pitch, he was flexing that hand like there was some sort of cramping. But again, the hitters, when he threw fastballs over the plate, they hit it. And that'll tell you that he doesn't have his velocity just yet.
They hit it, they pulled it. What did you see?
Well, I tell you what, I think somebody, first of all, called from the Red Sox organization and had these young hitters be very patient with Roger, because that first inning, they made him work extremely hard. They was laying off a lot of pitches, which is very rare for a young minor league player facing a big league pitcher. You want to be aggressive, you want to swing, you want to make contact. But as you can see, these guys were taking a lot of pitching. That's why his pitch count was up often and early from this situation right
carrying the organizational philosophy down through the minor leagues.
Take pitches, make them work, guys.
Well, that's exactly what they saw out of Clemens, as he did have to work. And Peter, just from his comments, he seemed like if he had a good bullpen session, he'll be facing the Blue Jays.
Well, one thing, I talked to somebody, a baseball executive who was behind home plate, said he was very comfortable. Now, his stuff was very inconsistent, but, you know, that comfort level does say, and also, let's face it, it's going to be a little bit more adrenaline when he's pitching in Toronto with Boston next week. But, I mean, I thought Roger was very inconsistent with his fastball at times, his location. I thought he was inconsistent with his, really inconsistent with his split. He threw some great ones with very good tilt. There were a lot that kind of slurved. But I'll say this. You watch Roger Clemens, and I've learned to do this over 20-something years. You watch where he is over the rubber all the time. He was really consistent over the rubber. It's just a matter of having his arm catch up to his legs, and I think that's encouraging for him. All
right, we'll see. Bullpen session Friday. Stay tuned to Baseball Tonight, Sports Center as well. We'll have the latest on Clemens after that session on Friday. Meantime, Update City here. Baseball Tonight brings you Alex Gordon. That's what they've been waiting for.
Upset City, Souvenir City right there, Carl.
Big fly for Alex Gordon. He's got all sorts of potential, Peter, and there's a home run for him. It's a good sign for him.
He's going to be a terrific player.
2 RBIs. He hit his 3rd, 6th home run of the season for Sweeney. John Buck hit his 8th home run. Royals 9, Indians 4.
A lot of Souvenir Cities.
Brian Church already with a pair, bases loaded. That one's hit on the nose. Big-time RBI night for Ryan Church. Yes, it's the Nats. Clears the bases, does Church. Check out Church's numbers. Huge in this one. Meantime, it's the Phillies 7 and the Marlins 6. In that game, Chase Utley has gone deep. How did it get to be 7-6?
We'll see.
This way. Dan Hogla, he's got a home run tonight in this game. He goes into the corner. 7-4. 7-5. Hogla goes to third. Next batter. Just saw him get some high fives. Hanley Ramirez. Bunting down the first baseline. Coming home with it. What was that?
7-5. You got to take the out right there. Let them have the run. Take the out.
Charlie Manuel wake up at like 3 in the morning and go, what was that?
Well, that's just a young player, an inexperienced first baseman who just made a mistake. Always take the out. 2 runs, take the out.
Were you surprised by the bunt there, too, or no?
Shocked. I guess everyone thought it was a 1-run game, and this is a do-or-die play. I mean, look at this. I mean, this is a suicide squeeze by, I think both managers thought it was a 1-run game. I really do. And I think the first baseman, Dobbs, thought it was a 1-run game. He just thought, I got to get this guy at home. Now the tying runs on first base with no outs. I don't know. Maybe the score's wrong. It has to be. No. Why else would Brett Myers be in a game in a 4-run game? Your closer.
Cabrera then struck out. No, it's a 1-run game, but Charlie Manuel does have that look on his face. Like that, right there. That's the look he's got.
Oh, it's a Southern thing.
He had that. Do that one more time. Yeah, there's that look. He's got that on his face. So we'll keep you posted on that game. Let's get updates later. Due up on this edition of Baseball Tonight. Bartolo Colon against the Tigers. Not a good fragrance tonight from Bart. No, not the best cologne. Young idols. We'll take a look at some as American Idol crowns a champion. Baseball's got some of their own when we come back.
Hello, I'm a Mac.
And I'm a PC. Mac, I'm going to be going away for a while.
Oh, where are you going?
Well, over to IT. I've been getting these funky error messages. They keep popping up.
Oh, that's annoying. I'm sorry.
WMP.dll.
What?
I don't even know what that means. It just happens. Do you know what it means?
No, Max don't get those cryptic error messages. Are they sick too?
Oh, yeah. He's error 692 and then syntax error down the end. Down here.
Fatal error.
Yeah. Don't worry, pal. You'll be up and running spreadsheets in no time.
He's a goner.
Presenting Ortho Weed Be Gone Max. So revolutionary, it targets and kills the toughest weeds without harming your lawn. Ortho Weed Be Gone sprayed here, ordinary weed killer here. Only Ortho Weed Be Gone has a foaming action and weed targeting formula for total root kill. So it killed the weeds, but not the grass. The ordinary weed killer killed everything. Ortho Weed Be Gone Max. Kills weeds, not lawns. Guaranteed. Now available with new crabgrass control.
He volunteered.
We were drafted.
She enlisted.
And off we went to Asia.
To Europe.
The Gulf. To do our duty.
Serve our country. We were buddies.
Shipmates. Best of friends.
I'll never forget his courage.
Her dedication.
The way he made you laugh.
And I'll remember him.
Remember her?
I'll remember them.
Always.
Target is locked, and the savings are confirmed. Roger, Echo 1. Proceed straight to Fred Beans.
Maydays are here at Fred Beans Buick Pontiac GMC. Get here now for incredible savings throughout our giant inventory. Drive a brand new GMC Sierra for just $14,495 or a Pontiac G5 for only $159 a month. Maydays at one of the GM dealers of the year. Fred Beans Buick Pontiac GMC in Doylestown. On the web at fredbeans.com.
Welcome back to Baseball Tonight, presented by Ruby Tuesday.
Hot California dreaming. The starting pitching the last 2 seasons, and the winning percentage is outstanding. .650 ERA, better this year. .324. A ground into double play. The dreaded get-up per 9. 116. That's why they are 26-14. Dealing with the Detroit Tigers, Colon is unbeaten in the 6 starts. Curtis Granderson, all-world potential, right, Crockett?
Yeah, absolutely does. If he can cut down on his strikeouts, he can be a guy that can be an igniter in the offense, but he can also be a power threat, too. But he needs to cut down on the punch-outs.
What team wouldn't like to have Placido Polanco on it?
Apparently the Phillies.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Pass Vlad went to the track. Inge and Granderson score. Detroit's got a 4-0 lead. Let's go to the bottom half of the third with no one on and no one out, and Carlos Guillen. Pasture. Fourth of the season. Tigers up 5-0. Cologne, 10 hits allowed, 6 runs, 2 Ks. Mags. Peter, the yard's not holding that one either.
No, the ball's jumping in that ballpark, which is unusual before June.
7-3. Mike Napoli. Whoa, the Angels are back within 1, a 3-run shot. Bottom of the 8th. Waiting, watching. Granderson, exit stage right. Tigers up 8-6. It's the guy you want up with men on the corners in the 9th, but Todd Jones gets Guerrero into a 6-4-3 double play.
Sneaky. Todd Jones says that sneaky little eater.
Here, he's got 15 saves. Is this going to continue?
2 years now he's been, well, actually 3 years in a row he's been really good because he had the great year the year before in Florida. So
that Central Division race, Tigers, Indians, White Sox, really, really good.
Chad Durbin stepped in and done a terrific job for them.
5 innings, 3 earned runs. All right, so the Angels are loose here, but boy, they have been playing good ball, Eric. This is a lot to be happy about with this team, no?
Well, yes, it is. I tell you what, Mike Scioscia and Bill Stoneman, the general manager, has done a great job of giving young players an opportunity, but more importantly, their pitching staff has carried this team. When you think about great pitching, you talk about the second, they got the second best ERA in American League with Colon, Lackey, Escobar, Weaver, and Santana. These guys have been dealing and keeping this team in every game, considering the fact that they've had some injuries with Howie Kendrick as well as Garrett Anderson. But Reggie Willis, one of the young players I talked about, has been ignited, which has caused him, allowed him to move Gary Matthews Jr. to the 4th spot, giving this guy a chance to play. Eric Eyeball has been doing an excellent job at second place, replacing Howie Kendrick. And I think it's just a tribute to them, talking to them in spring training. Scioscia said that these guys can play and that they were ready to play and that they weren't going to make too many moves because they believe in these guys. And I tell you what, it's proven to be true because these guys are definitely playing and keeping this team afloat until the other starters get back.
Who's the best team in the American League?
Right now, Boston. But I think that Detroit, Cleveland, Los Angeles, Angels of Anaheim, and even the White Sox. I don't really know what to make of the White Sox, but their big guns haven't hit yet.
That's true. Tomei came back last night, did have himself a productive night. All right, now on ESPN.com, as we continue to circle the bases here, you take a look at the Angels, the Diamond Daily, the starters, as EY just said, getting stronger and stronger. That's now on ESPN.com. All right, let's go to the Mets and the Braves and let you know that the Phillies and Marlins game, which was wild, got even wilder in the last minutes. Here's Wagner. Oh, forget it. Just forget it. Put the bat down. That was 96, and you couldn't see it.
Apparently, he was looking for the old slide ball.
That was impressive. Mets handled the Braves.
What you would look for.
Perez, I don't know what his story. The work that Rick Peterson's done with him to get his delivery straightened out and get a consistent release point is a huge story.
That's the type of find the starter. Pedro comes back at some point. They now have that rotation.
Oh, absolutely. Bain is terrific and Perez is terrific.
Yeah, he's been a great story. So it's 3-0 Mets over the Braves. Indians and the Royals. One of Peter's favorites, one of the best players in baseball is Grady Sizemore, and this one is not coming back. 8th of the year, put the Indians up by a score of 1-0. Back-to-back shots. Casey Blake, Goodwood, 5th of the year, 2-0 Indians. Cliff Lee, 7-3 in his career against the Royals. Bottom 1, 2 on. Emil Brown to first. Ryan Garco's there. Cliff Lee isn't. Oh! He threw the ball because he saw Tian going home, and he hit Brown with it. Hit him in the shoulder. You see that just about once. You see it once a year. Once a year. John Buck leaving the building.
The fountain ball.
Yeah, that was. Royals up 5-3. Mike Sweeney not watching, dancing with the Stars. Sweeney's 6, 7-3 Royals. The Stars wearing Kansas City unis tonight. Yeah, that's one of those you just have to see one more time just to make sure that he, in fact, did fire the ball and hit the guy in the shoulder. It's an eye-opener. 9-4 Kansas City, especially if you're Mr. Brown. They're over the Indians by 5 runs. This one's only in the top of the 7th. SportsCenter gets to the full highlights. Again, the Marlins-Phillies, things have gotten so crazy there. Wait till you see what happened. Due up here on this edition of Baseball Tonight. The highlights of that one, plus Zito going up against the Stros off a rough outing for Barry in his last one. See if the other Barry's up to anything tonight. And that's nasty. Wagner's 96 on the corner might count. Be right back. Stay tuned. Marlins Phillies, ridiculous.
Our chefs handcraft each burger fresh to be the best, one at a time. So while we'd love to say we have a burger with your name on it, we can't till you get here. Handcrafted burgers, yours always. Ruby Tuesday.
What do you want in a home? Everybody has a different idea. Yet everybody should expect the same things in a mortgage. No fees, no worries, guaranteed. Introducing No Fee Mortgage Plus. It's the opportunity to get the mortgage you always wanted for the home you've always wanted. No Fee Mortgage Plus, only from Bank of America, Bank of Opportunity.
Officer McLean, you have no idea what I am capable of.
You sound like a pretty scary guy.
Hang on. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it. I did it. You've got to be one of our bad guys by now.
Chicks, right?
Live Free or Die Hard, June 27th. This film is not yet rated.
Our chefs handcraft each burger fresh to be the best, one at a time. So while we'd love to say we have a burger with your name on it, we can't till you get here. Handcrafted burgers, yours always. Ruby Tuesday.
Growing up, I used to spend my time at the Boys and Girls Club. The clubs are a safe place with all kinds of activities. I used to spend most of my time on the baseball field. Some things never change.
Major League Baseball and the Boys and Girls Clubs of America believe that all kids should have a safe place to go.
And I also learned a little something about baseball.
That was a no-doubt shot by A-Rod.
Major League Baseball is a proud sponsor of the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Together, they create a positive place for kids.
Watch your team's out-of-market games live from anywhere. Live Major League Baseball right to your desktop. Go to ESPN.com and search MLB.tv. Sign up today.
Baseball tonight continues. Drinking that vitamin water. Nats and Reds. Kyle Loesch looking to avoid becoming the Reds pitcher in 13 years to suffer 6 straight losses. And Ryan Church gets him off on the wrong foot. Nats are up 2-zip. Now 2-1. Nuke Logan. Gonzalez at short going to go to third with it. No. Almost looked like Encarnacion was blocked by Brian Schneider, who comes in to score.
He might have skinned off his shoulder and then just
changed direction.
The veer play.
Nats are up 3-1. 4-1. Schneider again.
Tell you what, I love Brian Schneider as a catcher. He's a guy who plays every day. You can tell he takes charge of the pitching staff. And, occasionally he's going to hit one out of the ballpark.
What's wrong with Kyle Loesch? 9 hits, 6 earned runs. Oh, with the bases loaded. Adam Dunn getting real picky, and Ray King getting ejected. Encarnacion dribbles up the middle. Reds down 9-5 and still in business. Not anymore. Ryan Church goes to the gap.
Zimmerman on his way to third. He will be the third run to score, and what a night for Ryan Church.
Not a good night for Mike Stanton. Look at Ryan Church. 2 home runs, 6 RBIs.
Well, Reds have to do something about that pitching, whether it's trading Adam Dunn, but they've got to start getting pitching.
They don't have any right now. 18 and 28. Both these teams on pace to lose 100 games this year. The current trend continues for them. Phillies and the Marlins, and you saw the bunt play by Ramirez. This is even stranger. Aaron Boone hits the ball into the gap. Abercrombie just comes home. The ball beats him by 20 minutes. Oh, called safe at home. It's Hanley Ramirez doing the running there. And it is 7-7. Barajas had the ball. Now just watch the glove and the feet.
I tell you what, it was a high tag. It's close. Yeah. Very rarely is that called, but I tell you what, it was.
Barajas was preparing to get run over.
Yes.
And that's why he raised up like that. If he stays down, it's an easy call, but he raised up trying to, brace himself for a collision, and Hanley slid underneath him.
Wow.
Clay Condrey is now in, and there's a reason for that. Brett Myers left the game with an injury, which we'll show you in just a second. But with regards to that play, you prep to get hurt or get hit, but you also got to block the play and get your glove down.
Well, exactly. But, you know, like I said, he was out by so much on that play that Barajas, tell yourself, and as a base runner, when you're out by that much, you know the only way you're going to score is if you knock the ball out of the catcher's glove, not by sliding. But, you know, give Hanley Ramirez a little credit here. He saw Barajas raise up, and he decided to slide underneath.
But I tell you, once he saw him going to that slide, he should have dropped his shin guards right there. He should have blocked that. Once he saw him go down, he should have went down. But he gave him a chance to slide up under there.
He's down now.
Well, one minute, then he comes up and drop him.
Boom. It's going to be a collision. And
how about that acceleration, Hanley Ramirez, when he got about 30 feet past third base? That acceleration to home plate was astounding.
He did pick it up.
Because of what happened in the inning earlier when we saw Ramirez bunt, the first baseman threw the ball home to try to get it out there, which was very late. You understand how Charlie's feeling, and Charlie's mood would only get worse after the injury to Brett Myers. But those are two of the most bizarre plays you'll see in the same inning in any game.
I tell you what, you very rarely see that, especially 9 out of 10 times. You know, with a guy get the ball 2 or 3 steps before the runner gets in there, that's an out. It's almost the umpire's getting his hand ready to call him out. So for Rod coming up in that situation, he's a veteran. You very rarely see that happen. He should have just dropped on him as soon as he went into his slide.
Now the bases are loaded. This Clay Condrey has come in and walked, so Todd Linden is up with the bases loaded. If, in fact, the Marlins get a win, they would score 5 in the 9th to do it. They'd be the 6th team this year to score 5 runs in the 9th and win.
It would also be a game ahead of the Phillies.
And this is the worst of all here. Look at Brett Myers grab his shoulder or his upper arm or his elbow right after he throws this pitch. And a loss is one loss. A loss of Brett Myers for a long period of time means the season's over.
Done. Phillies will be, if he's out for an extended period, they're done.
Well, you take your number 1 starter, you make him the closer, and if he hurts his arm, whoop.
And what do you make of somebody grabbing their arm in the position he was grabbing it? Obviously, we're just speculating.
Well, knowing Brett, he's never been hurt, and believe me, this is, you hate to say it because he's a guy who will pitch through pain and through soreness, but I mean, when he immediately grabbed his arm and started walking off the field, it's not good. I don't know what it is.
Dr. Kruk stayed at a Holiday Inn Select last night.
Right.
Yes, I did.
We're comfortable with that. By the way, Clay Condrey just took a line drive, which would have planted itself in his chest, but he had his glove up and he got out of the inning. So they're going to go play extra innings.
Oh, that's special.
What a bizarre game in Florida. We hope to get an injury update on Myers as quick as we can. If not, SportsCenter will certainly have their latest. ESPN.com as well. Pittsburgh and St. Louis as things try to settle themselves a wee bit. David Eckstein sparking.
See, now that's more like it. An Eckstein homer. Now we're back to real baseball.
Juan Encarnacion blasting off. Chris Dovey going back over the wall. Whoa, what a play by the Duffster.
Take it away.
That's a slap a nominee on that puppy.
We'll see that one later.
Jim
Hopefully.
Edmonds. Uh-oh.
Oh, Lord.
Uh-oh. This is the old Cardinals. Eckstein homers.
It's great to see. I mean, he has struggled so much with that post-concussion syndrome and fought back. A lot of guts.
Ooh. I think Chris Duncan may have just tacked on one. Yes, he did. 9th home run of the season. Cardinals take a 4-0 lead, but those fighting Pirates have cut it to 1. It is 4-3. Careful, Scott Rowland is up in the bottom of the 8th with a man on second base. But Pujols is 2 for 4 in the game. All right, Peter, American Idol Sparks. Part of the reason we suggested that on the home run is because the person named Sparks, don't follow the show. Jordan was the winner of American Idol.
Steve Sparks was back for the knuckleball? No.
It wasn't Steve Sparks or the little kid out there that was Sparks. It was with Roger Clemens. No. So your young idols have nothing to do with singers, although you are a musical guy, but with regards to baseball.
Well, it's fun to just watch these guys come along. And the first one is Carlos Gomez of the Mets. The young center fielder is an incredible talent. And I just think about, he's going to go back to the minor leagues and come back. But I think about, you know, when you're going to have Reyes, Gomez, 1-2 for about 10 years, Omar Minaya says he believes this guy is the next Andrew Jones. He's going to have power. He's one of the fastest players in the ball. He's terrific. Kelly Johnson, a year off Tommy John surgery, has done such a great job in the transition. He went shortstop, left field, now second base. Not only does Bobby Cox say he turns the double play as well as anybody in the league, but He's third among all second basemen in baseball in OPS. And Tim Lincecum, I mean, about 160 pounds. He's got great stuff. He is so much fun to watch. 4 starts, 3 quality starts. He's got a strikeout an inning. I mean, this guy, his stuff is ridiculous. It's so good. Now, first time I ever saw him pitch was in the Cape League, and driving home, I thought, God, I got this pain in my shoulder. His delivery is
violent,
a little different, but he's never had an arm problem in his life. He doesn't ice, so good luck.
We had Oral out here last night, and he and Dusty both claimed there's no similarities whatsoever between the two of them, and obviously the bend in the back, but they said no. Hopefully he has the success that Oral had in his career. All right, young idols from Mr. Gavin's fresh faces. Here they are, the rookie leaders. Reggie Willits is an angel. If you haven't picked up on him, he's been outstanding for them. He and Cabrera at the top of the order have been great. Elijah Dukes and Josh Hamilton, 8 home runs apiece. And the other devil, right, Delman Young, 22 RBIs. Those are the fresh faces, the rookie leaders.
Fresh Faces is brought to you by Ruby Tuesday. Simple, fresh American dining.
You got to see the way that Clay Condrey got out of this mess. Bases loaded with 2 outs after the Florida Marlins had come all the way back to tie it, and he caught the ball.
Wow.
Or it caught him. I just don't think the game can end soon enough for the Phillies.
No. You know, if you're one of the lucky 35 or 40 people at this game, tremendous.
It has been entertaining, but again, the big story and the serious story is the injury of Brett Myers. 7-7. Chase Utley is up. He's already homered once. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll see what he does. That is nasty. That's even nastier. Check me if I'm wrong, but that looked like a member of the Sea Dogs. Also ahead of us, the ones that left the building. And those unfortunate 35 that are at that game will not be able to see the home runs.
Do you want to go somewhere fun?
Yeah, man!
Somebody help the chicken.
June 8th. Start the whale. You're invited to the biggest party of the summer.
I would have to say it is pretty good.
Feeling hot, hot, hot.
Oh. It's a little crazy.
Get ready for a major ocean picture.
The natives treat me as their king and put me in a hot tub.
Surf's Up. Rated PG.
June 8th. It's going to be epic.
Comcast high-speed internet comes with security powered by McAfee, antivirus, firewall, parental controls, and more.
The Comcast Triple Play. Internet, phone, and cable. Together on one bill from one company. Call today.
Tonight at 11, exclusive video of an unprovoked attack by a neighbor's dog on a woman and her grandchild. Wait till you hear who was behind the camera. The investigators talk to a local pet owner who questions whether a vet is responsible for a pet's death. She wouldn't leave well enough alone. See how one teenage girl got busted by her teacher and turned it into an assault rap. Also, what's got local baseball fans spending hundreds to attend a local minor league game? Tonight at 11, turn to NBC 10.
Comcast high-speed internet with Power Boost gives me extra speed for big downloads. Now I get video, music, and games faster than ever.
The Comcast Triple Play. Internet, phone, and cable. Together on one bill from one company. Call today.
Welcome back to Baseball Tonight, presented by Ruby Tuesday.
Baseball Tonight, your ticket to every single game, and when things happen, you're brought to those yards right away. Dodgers have them loaded in the first inning. Bad sign for the Brewers. Russell Martin.
I tell you what, ever since he became the starter last year, this guy's definitely been carrying his team and doing a good job behind the plate.
He certainly has been. And Jeff Kent comes in to score. Martin hustles over to third. What a job by Russell Martin.
Great base running.
Reading the play there. Luis Gonzalez then bangs one in the right. I say it's a pretty good start for the Dodgers.
Pretty good start, yeah. I don't know about bang that one in the right. I don't think that one dented any grass, but it was a soft one.
It was 4-0 with the Dodgers on top of the Brewers. That's a lot of runs by Chris Capuano's standards. Brad Penny off of a rough outing, off to a good start in this one. All right, Stros and the Giants. No Oswalt, no Lincecum tonight. Maybe a little bit easier for the Giants.
Just some Benji. Just some Benji. Molina.
He plates a couple, but he's always on and always scoring now, isn't he? Lewis has got a run. Giants got a 2-0 lead. Zito goes for San Francisco. He so far has not given up anything in 2 innings. He struck out 1, hasn't walked anybody. Keep our eye on that one for the next 8 or so minutes. A's and the White Sox.
Swisher misses the baseball.
1-0 when Garland will look out. Stewart flies home. Look out. Center fielder's having a hard time throwing that ball home. That's a tough one to bunt.
Oh,
Johnny Garland helping his own cause out.
That was nice. Got to be about 6'6" to get that.
Yeah, you do. 6 1/3.
So Lincecum wouldn't have had that.
Chad Godin was not.
Chad Godin was dominant, though. Look at hats off Godin. Uribe checking out. Rob Makoviak is gone fishing. Chasing one of those spinners. Godin real good. 4-0 the final. It's a really good starting staff, isn't it, Peter?
Oh, he pitched really well. I mean, Godin's been a real find. They got him from Toronto, and he's, you know, he's not big, but he's got pretty great command of his fastball, and his slider is really nasty.
He retired at one point 17 in a row. Not seen the Hiram Boca Chica home run. It was his first. A couple of RBIs.
That'd have been a struggle with that name, too.
Salto Lamacchia and Boca Chica.
Yeah.
That's Washington. This is Morneau.
Oh, that one. He doubled up on him yesterday, and he decided he's going to just join the party again today.
He's sneaking up on A-Rod, by the way, for the league lead. He's got 14 now. This is a weird play, too. Victor Diaz hit it back up the middle. The bat broke, and the broken part of the bat would actually hit Joe Nathan. Thankfully, it hit him flat and flush.
On a couple laps, loosen that thing up. Why not?
Corey Hunter out of nowhere. Had it. Oh, dropped it. Rangers stay alive earlier in the inning. Hunter made a good play.
He Wyatt hauled that in.
Yep. Nathan gets Sammy chasing.
He just made it interesting. That's how he did.
Twins take 2 out of 3 in Arlington. The 5th home run during the 9-game road trip for Morneau. Robinson Tejeda was rocked for all 5 of the Twins' runs in 3 innings of work. He goes to 1-6 in his career at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. Update on the Bucks and the Cardinals. Adam Kennedy is up.
An extra run. Cardinals lead by 2, and Kennedy runs 1 in the left field.
Jim Edmonds goes back. We're not going to run on Jason Bay. He is. Oh, he looked like he swam over the top, but he's called out.
The swim move.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Dolmet, though, apparently got the glove on him. A lot of interesting plays at the plate tonight. Cardinals leading the Pirates 5-3 in the top of the 9th. If you missed it earlier, Duncan, Eckstein, and Edmonds all hit home runs. Continue on with the Lights, Jays, and the O's. In the 5th, it's a good game. It's tied at 1. No one on for Lyle Overbay. Hit hard. Nick Markakis makes the catch. That's a Web Gem nominee.
And well should be.
Bottom 5, 2 men on. Brian Roberts. No one's catching that. Single into right center. Look at Millar fly around the run around the. Well, he scored.
Uh-oh.
Dustin McGowan tried to fake to third to first, and Roberts is in a rundown. Corey Patterson's running home. Corey Patterson's going home. McGowan. Oh my goodness. He threw it into the seats.
It's amazing. You get those pitchers off a mound, they have trouble executing the throw.
Orioles over the Blue Jays by a score of 5-2. Steve Traxel improves to 3-3 on the season as he goes 6 innings and gives up just 2 earned runs. We'll come back. By the way, the Phillies are threatening to go ahead here in extras. Top 5 Web Gems are coming up as we continue on this Emmy Award award-winning edition of Baseball Tonight.
Huh?
Baseball Tonight is presented by Ruby Tuesday. Simple, fresh American dining.
Our chefs handcraft each burger fresh to be the best, one at a time. So while we'd love to say we have a burger with your name on it, we can't. So you get here. Handcrafted burgers. Yours always. Ruby Tuesday.
Today. Oh, that really hurts! It's too big.
I'm so hot.
Too obscene. Too naughty, even for theaters.
Yay!
Epic movie, unrated, on DVD today.
May I take your
Every vehicle we build comes with our racing spirit. Honda, proud to be part of the 2007 IndyCar Series.
When it's people who do the right thing, they call it being responsible. When it's a home insurance company, they call it Liberty Mutual. Responsibility. What's your policy? Liberty Mutual.
Roger, for the Go Green sales event, we want you to race this very special bike.
How about I just make a few sales calls or something?
Done.
The Kawasaki Go Green sales event is on. Save big on new Kawasaki vehicles. See your dealer today.
Hello, sir. Sorry to bother you at supper time. Hello?
Web Gems is brought to you by Fathead.com, official licensee of Major League Baseball. Fathead.com. Are you fan enough?
All right, here we go, boys and girls. The Web Gems. Every night we show you the top 5. On Sundays, we'll give you the whole week's worth at 12:30 in the afternoon. And we'll start with Nick Swisher, number 5.
That's the way it's done in the Mountain State, Sparky.
Rob Makoviak got jammed. What's that? They just
West Virginia's the Mountain State.
Slide.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're a lot
out
of
there
hills.
get dirty.
A lot of hills.
Yes, indeed.
Both you and Swish cut the old locks. Looking good.
Yeah.
Number 4, Torrey Hunter. Oh, fender bender. Good catch out there by Hunter.
What's new? Saving some runs again.
All he does. Web Gem number 3, that tall pitcher for the White Sox.
I'll tell you what, that's a tough play because if he touches it, is it a fair ball? And then if he does touch it and he doesn't catch it, it's a hit. It's a great decision. Great decision to be made.
If he missed it totally, it probably would have been a foul ball.
Yeah, well, if it hit his glove, though.
Right. That's what I used the word totally. Brian Roberts.
We can argue this all night, but let's not.
Nope.
Great play by Brian Roberts right there, Sparks.
Number 1 Web Gem of the night.
Oh, it's going to be a tough one.
Peter, I'm going with the dumpster.
This is a tremendous play. Wrist probably a little bit sore.
Going high above the wall into the grassy area.
Got leaps. Look at that. That's getting up there a little bit, Crookie.
Great play by Chris.
I don't know anything about that.
Duffy. All right, Phillies and the Marlins in the strangest and most bizarre and unfortunately perhaps most painful game of the night because of the injury to Brett Myers. But old Nunez single plates Jimmy Rollins, and after giving up 4 in the 9th to tie it, the Phillies go ahead in the 10th, 8-7. Rosario was warming. They brought Condrey back out to try to close this thing down for the Phillies. He's got one man down.
So what a start now for the Indians.
Look at the home runs by the Tribe tonight. Sizemore and Blake, first-time Indians, hit 2 to lead off the game. Got to go back to July of 2002. It was the post-Alomar days. Who's hitting 1-2 for the Indians in 2002? Freel Dog goes yard for the Reds. Eckstein also jumping off the leadoff bandwagon.
Little guys. The little guy, leadoff man, they are doing it tonight.
Jumping shit.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, man, that's
TJ Upton, another leadoff home run.
Wow.
8 home runs, and it's amazing that you let him play every day. He can put up numbers.
Not a leadoff, but his 3rd career multi-home run game. How about a quick bat from Ryan Church?
Hit someone in the concession area.
I believe that did get a dog of its own. David Wright's 4th home run in his last 4 games.
What he's done, as I mentioned, since he started just going back up the middle, is just incredible.
EY, this truly is Souvenir City for the guy on the 17th row. Right to the bare hands.
That's a shot right there, Carl.
That made a pretty good play, too.
Sure did. Dan Ugla. He measured. That's a 415-foot shot.
Hit an empty seat, Peter.
Bagpipes got 5 home runs in his last 10 games. Cologne got beaten around in this one. Also going deep, Justin Morneau. Charging hard. As are the Marlins again, as Hanley Ramirez has gotten on with a single, and Cabrera's coming up. Hungry stays in to pitch. Now the nastiest offerings. Tough when it starts off behind you and ends up in front of you. Joe Nathan to Sammy. Thanks for playing, Sam. Andy Pettit.
He just keeps biting and biting, doesn't it?
Chad Durbin to Reggie Willits.
One of baseball's best guys, Chad Durbin. Clay Buchholz.
That's a Portland Sea Dogger.
Yeah, 22 years old.
Look at that.
Next year.
I've never seen that.
That's a 12-6.
Runs a 4.25 40 for those of you looking for a quarterback.
We can chase the ball up to the plate and beat it there.
You know, you can stay at a Holiday Inn or whatever you want. You don't get that information too often.
4.25.
Yeah, from a pitcher.
Yeah.
That's going to come in handy in the American League, Peter.
SportsCenter will follow. They'll have the latest update on that Philly Marlins game, which continues with the Marlins' minor threat going on, and also the latest on the injury to Brett Myers. For Peter Gammons, Eric Young, John Kruk, I'm Carl Ravitch. Hope you had fun. We did. Here's SportsCenter.
Roger Clemens at it again. He put in quite a lot of work, over 100 pitches. You see that line, and that's not necessarily Hall of Fame stuff. We're going to have Peter Gammons here, our Hall of Famer, to break down where Clemens is, how quickly he'll be with the big club. What's good? Welcome to SportsCenter with Stuart Scott. I'm Scott Van Pelt. Stanley Cup Finals don't start till Monday. We've got off days in the NBA Conference Finals, East and West, which means the Yankees and the Red Sox, where else but leading off?
You remember late Monday night when the Yankees beat down the Red Sox in Game 1 of the 3-game set, and you heard it. Oh, the Yankees, they're about to turn this thing around and sweep the series, and then they're on their way. Until last night when, they had 4 hits against the Red Sox and got clocked. Well, by Manny and Manny's 51st career home run against them. Well, tonight, the rubber game, 3-game set. Andy Pettit on the bump for the Yankees, facing Curt Schilling. Schilling against Hideki Matsui. Bottom 1, Curt, you lost. Matsui, 2-run jack, his 4th of the year. Schilling would get pounded. Bottom 2, Derek Jeter. Represent, young man. If you pass Joe DiMaggio in anything, you're doing okay. Derek Jeter passes Joe DiMaggio for 5th on the all-time Yankees hit list, 2,216. He also has an 18-game hitting streak. Jeter does. Bottom 3, Jorge Posada getting his hit on to right. A-Rod hustling around the bases, scorer standing up. Curt Schilling gave up 12 hits, the most he's ever given up in 16 career starts against the Yankees. Top 4, Kevin Youkilis facing Pettit with a runner on first, and he induces, entices, gets, whatever. Youkilis into a 4-6-3 double play. Andy Pettit was on point. Bottom 4, Doug Mientkiewicz facing Schilling. Peace. Mientkiewicz, solo shot. Yankees scored in 6 of their 8 offensive innings. They're up 6-0. Top 5, Julio Lugo facing Pettit. Line drive right back at Pettit. Great catch. Throws, gets Robinson Cano to Robinson Cano to get Willie Mopena out at second. Top 7, Dustin Pedroia facing Pettit. Pedroia hits it to third, and A-Rod takes him out, which is kind of like taking him out last night minus the elbow. Get what I'm saying? Yankees win the game 8-3. Curt Schilling has now allowed 10 earned runs and 20 hits in 2 starts against the Pinstripers this year. He's also given up 15 home runs against them the last 3 seasons. As I said, the 12 hits allowed by Schilling, the most he's ever given up to the Pinstripers. We go deeper inside this series where the Yankees win 2 out of 3, in large part to leadoff hitter Johnny Damon. 6 for 13 in the series. He raised his batting average 19 points in the process, the pride of Dr. Phillips High School. Derek Jeter did what he's done all season, really his whole career. 5 hits and 13 at-bats. He's hitting .367, tied with Jorge Posada, tops in the AL. And Coco Crisp, he homered tonight, but the Red Sox little guys, Coco and Julio Lugo, they combined to get just 4 more hits than me, Scott, and Peter Gammons combined.
Peter Gammons joins us on loan from baseball tonight. And Peter, how likely did you think it was that, regardless of how Roger Clemens looked tonight in Trenton, that given the Yankees' struggles, that he's likely to be up there sooner rather than later?
Well, I thought it was a distinct possibility, just because having watched him in spring training come in and be able to throw 150 pitches the first day of minor leaguers in Kissimmee, Florida, he's in such great shape. His legs are in such great shape. Now, the question really is going to be, can his arm catch up to his legs?
All right, well, let's see how he looked. He's pitching in Trenton, as the saying there goes. Trenton makes, the world takes. Roger Clemens has long been made before he got to Trenton, but early on, command looks like it was a bit of an issue. I suppose that's not a surprise.
No, it wasn't. I mean, his fastball command was very